Welcome to Geek Therapy Radio. You've got your mental curator, as always, Johnny Hamburger. Today, tonight, this morning, whenever you're listening or watching this podcast, if I upload it to YouTube, we're in Grandma's living room. Grandma's living room. Let me actually pick up my camera here and show you what we got banging across the room here. I think that's a 27-incher.
They call that a CRT, right?
That's a CRT tube TV. As we haven't tested it, it probably still works.
You think when you turn it on, does that?
Absolutely. You know, let's do it. Let's do it. By the way, that voice you're hearing, I've got Craig Lavati, who you may remember. Well, should I even mention the show you were on?
Black
Do you think that's legit? Black Coffee Radio with Justin King, which is still available in podcast apps. So he's living that champagne and guac lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Ladies, he's a holler at him.
It did because
did it turn on?
Yeah, it did. One time.
Ooh, I can hear it. You can always hear it, and I bet you the audio is going to pick it up too. That high pitched squeal.
Off again?
You did. Press it one more time, then leave it. Ooh, he's busting it up.
I didn't break it.
What riveting radio you're listening to here?
No. See, I didn't do anything.
There, no, touch it. Yeah, leave it.
We're in.
All right.
We hacked into the CRT.
My other guest is Mike Rathke?
That's it.
I always want to say Rathke for some reason.
Nailed it.
He is the resident bird nerd. And that's what we're here doing, is bird watching in the Rio Grande Valley?
Rio Grande Valley. Lower Rio Grande Valley.
Yep.
Some would say the Mecca for bird watching. A killer spot, one of the best.
So how many, your goal was to find 10 of your lifers, which explain what a lifer is.
Sure. A lifer is, bird watchers have what's called a life list. Mm-hmm. And a lifer just means you saw the bird, you observed the bird, and ID'd it for the first time. It's the first time you ID'd that species.
So apparently Mike the goal was to see 10 birds.
10.
And how many did you wind up seeing here?
I'm at 7.
7? I thought it was 8.
No, it's 7.
Okay.
We were going to possibly get 8 tonight, but with the parakeets, but we didn't get them.
Yeah, we were a little too late. They went. Well, I guess, did they go to roost, or they're just too late? What do you think happened there?
I think they were there, but it was dark. We couldn't see them. We didn't have lights.
Yeah, we got to here's the thing about bird watching.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through this segment. I want to get to
sundown.
Sun up to sundown. It is mostly during the day, obviously. I want to get to Craig opening the card packs, because segments of radio go by pretty quick.
I forget.
This is so weird.
Because Johnny, the show me and you do together, it's just like an hour of
freeform
science freeform talk.
Right.
Like I should be smoking like a little wooden pipe and being like, oh yes, quasars, pulsars.
Exactly.
I mean, this is different.
Here, don't bust that open yet.
Okay.
Craig has baseball cards, which we're going to get to.
Yeah.
What I wanted to wrap up with for this segment, because I'm constrained to 8 minutes here. We can go longer if you want, but I just want to get out the fact that one of the coolest things about bird watching, obviously, is seeing these birds, these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to see birds. You may only see that bird once in your life, but the locations that it takes you to find the bird. Yeah. You might be in just a world-renowned, world-class state park among the most beautiful setting possible.
Yeah.
Or you may go hunting for a parakeet in a Whataburger parking lot.
100%, yes.
Straight up.
Did you guys really go to Whataburger?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We used the facilities, looked for parakeets, and bailed back here for some Mexican food. Okay, so we can talk about birding, and I'll have Mike on a different show.
Don't keep doing that. Yeah, don't.
No.
Well, I thought you were under time constraints.
No, I was just because I was sweating because I got lost today while we were birding.
Oh my!
And my head is sunburned, and so it's really sensitive to heat right now. So if I get riled up and talking, I'm gonna start sweating more than I normally do. So I'm trying to stay still and calm and let you guys talk about birds. Because otherwise, I'll start.
That's actually worth talking about, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can we do another segment then?
I'm totally down. Y'all guys can hang as long as you want to. So let's put a pin. Yes. We'll put a pin in that. Let's. There's a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the segment.
We have all night.
We have all night.
Yeah,
so let's take the pin out of that and just talk about it for the last couple minutes here of the segment. Craig got lost on the trail. What wound up happening?
I got lost. I was looking for these two guys and our other compatriots we were with, and I took a wrong turn not knowing that basically I was going into Mexico, and I was picked up by. That was Border Patrol.
That was Border
It was legit
It said
Border
federal
Patrol.
something on the
Yes.
side. It was definitely Border Patrol. Pulled up on me. I was on like a bank of one of the little. There's like a big ditch over here. I was on the bank of it, just like walking like fine. I had like my sunglasses on. I was just diddy bopping down the road, and then he pulls up and he goes, "Are you okay, sir? Do you need assistance?" And I was like, "I took the wrong turn, and I'm trying to get back to the visitor center." And he goes, "Well, hop in. I'll drive you back over there. It's hot outside today." I was like, "Yes, sir, it is." And so he didn't have any room inside the cab, so I rode in the back of the Border Patrol truck.
Pickup truck.
Yes. It was nice. It was a great respite from walking, in the middle of brush looking for y'all.
Yeah.
We walked a lot today. You got a ride in the back of a pickup truck with
Yes.
federal agents.
For the record, I was concerned.
Thank you.
I was very
No,
concerned.
I would have been okay. Like I've always been like, you just follow the road, you'll be fine. Right? That's basically what I did.
We're thinking, were those turkey
Honestly-
vultures for Craig?
Honestly, I didn't want to go back through. Yeah, that would have been funny if I would have died out there. It would have been like
That would not have
It'd have
your
been
body would have been like that's like Sky Barrow out here. Like your body would be like picked clean.
You died.
So
doing
we're
what you love.
this is the bump music.
DNR.
The bump music's coming in. Birding is fun, crazy, brings you crazy places, and it's the synopsis is it'd be funny if Craig died.
Yeah.
More Geek Therapy Radio coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Geek Therapy Radio. You've got your mental curator, Johnny Hemberger. I've got two guests here. We're recording guerrilla style. I'm not using any fancy condenser microphones or lapels. You're listening to the M1 MacBook Pro, which I've done an entire podcast with before. Mic placement properly with a MacBook, and it was immaculate. But so, if you're listening to the podcast, you can obviously tell a little difference in audio quality. That's what's going on. I'm just using the microphone in the MacBook Pro. So at the end of the last segment, Craig Lavati mentioned that he got lost and picked up by federal agents on the Mexican border.
They didn't even ask for my ID, which is kind of messed up. I guess they kind of just looked at me and they're like, "Oh, he's."
We've discussed all the funny, the comedic scenarios that could have, depending on how Craig answered or responded to the federales calls, could have ended hilariously badly.
It would have ended with
Headlines.
Leaked body cam footage shows Houston man being harassed by Border Patrol for getting lost on birding trip. That'd be a horrible line for SEO, by the way.
Yeah, see, we're
Don't
not.
use that. It would be Houston man arrested while bird watching.
Houston man arrested while bird watching.
Yeah, Houston man arrested while bird watching while trying to enter Mexico illegally.
And I think we all kind of may have entered it technically,
Yeah.
maybe kind of,
I think
because our
so.
phones went like, "Welcome to Mexico."
Yeah.
Like
You're
what?
an international traveler.
Well, I'd like to point out too that Craig, while he was lost, I think the Border Patrol had no issues picking him up, and were pretty much set on picking you up because
They were dead set
you were
on.
lacking the hiking. He had zero hiking gear on. You're a PR dude. You work off your phone.
Yeah,
You do a lot of
I had my phone, my sunglasses, a gray T-shirt, jeans, and hiking shoes,
A little sweat going on.
and some sweat. Of course,
That's fair though.
yeah.
But yeah, no backpack,
Yeah,
no
I
thermos,
didn't
no
have a hat
water,
on,
Binoculars.
no binoculars, no
I didn't have
camera.
a giant camera with a 6-foot lens.
Yeah.
To look at a parakeet. It was just like I'm at my wits, I guess.
So here's some advice if you're looking to sneak across the border. Just carry a big telephoto lens and some binoculars,
Disguise
and
yourself as a
like a
bird.
bird watcher, and
You are.
welcome to the USA.
That'll do it.
We might talk about bird watching a little later in the show. We'll see. But I promised that we would open some baseball cards. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
There's a demographic of the audience that, of course, remembers baseball cards being a real big thing. They were a big thing for me. I was telling Craig before the show started that there was a baseball card shop or sports card shop in town where I grew up in Kingwood, Texas, called Sparky's, where we would basically open these cards and go through the Beckett, which was like where you would see
price guide for
price guide. Is Beckett still around? Is that still a thing?
They do grading. They do card grading services too now.
Okay.
So you can send in cards and they'll grade them for you, and they'll send you, whatever.
You know what? So I'm dead rolling on this. I'm filming Craig opening the first pack. So talk about the first pack you're opening.
First off, I need to preface this by saying I've been obsessed now with baseball cards for almost a year, because I started watching YouTube videos of guys ripping open packs, like just thousands of dollars of packs.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, since single man, no children, disposable income, turns into, hey, I just spent $50 in baseball cards at Walmart.
Yeah.
In McAllen, Texas. So, I bought a pack or a box, the blaster box. That's what they call this.
Cool. Blaster?
Blaster box of Topps Gallery 2021. This will probably be the last 2021 product I will open up in 2022, because Topps Series 1 for 2022 came out this week. So I'll be buying 2022 product. And basically all I do with this stuff is I take out the good stuff, and then the decent stuff I send to my friends' kids.
Awesome.
So I just go to the mail. I'm Santa Claus in February.
He puts things in the mailbox.
So when I buy these things, instead of like buying food or medicine for my dog, I think, it's for the kids.
Yeah.
It's for the kids.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. So anyway,
Santa
hobby.
Yeah, it's not. I keep on thinking it's not drugs. It's not alcohol.
It's not birding.
Absolutely.
It's not permanent like a tattoo.
You don't have any tattoos. That's all children's markers.
This is a great angle too, because we're full of Tex-Mex. We had 7 different kinds of. So let's see what
Craig's a TV guy, so he's going to be conscious about that kind of angle.
We got a Dylan Carlson rookie card. Ooh, we got a Tatis, everybody.
We hold it up just for a second.
Good.
Here, do that again. Hold it up for a second so I can focus on
I
it.
could have seen
Tatis.
Hold it
landscape
up.
orientation.
Yeah,
that's
Topps
a
Gallery.
new thing.
It's their it's like sort of like their photographer's kits.
Okay, cool.
I think I got it.
And
That has to be a good one then.
this is a good one too. It's a printer-proof Ronald Acuna. It's not numbered. It doesn't look like it's a short print, but it is a printer-proof.
What does that mean?
Printer-proof. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I hear them say that on the YouTube channel.
Is it good stuff? Is it
I'm
good?
sure it is.
Good things.
So these are like the good cards here. So this was a $25.
These
Are
good.
our new
These are
baseball
good
cards still worth money? Like if you got a rookie card for like Aaron Judge, would that be worth
Yeah,
something?
that stuff is worth money, but they're starting to print way too many again.
Okay.
Like they did in the junk wax era when we were kids. Key Brian Hayes. Another
Nice.
printer proof. Shane McClanahan. Dodgers, Julio
Urias.
Sam Huff from the Rangers. So that's
Shout out Rangers.
You're a Rangers fan.
Yeah, yep.
I would like to
Did you see
interject
what the
real quick.
Cowboys did.
Oh yeah.
Did you read about the Cowboys
I didn't
thing?
see this.
Oh, that's another segment.
You talking
So
Mark
we're-
Cooper?
No. Like a scandal.
Oh no.
We'll talk.
I've been bird watching.
We don't need to talk about that. You've been bird watching. We're doing nice stuff.
We're all geeks about something. I realize that if
Same
you're
Acuna, but
I mean,
not the
he's the
printers.
best player in baseball. Him and Tatis. So I
He
feel
comes
like
back. Yeah, I got a Tatis. What is this here? This is Ryan Weathers from the Padres. That is
dead air.
Javier
Baez.
Baez. Randy Arozarena.
Oh cool.
I didn't bring any penny sleeves because for some reason I didn't think I was going to buy baseball cards on this birding trip.
No, but that's what addiction is. You don't know.
So
Like,
now I'm like,
you got the urge.
I'm gonna have to leave in the middle of the night and go buy penny sleeves.
So how was the Walmart in McAllen, Texas?
I loved it. I really did. Like I feel at home in Walmart. Like when I travel, I notice that I go to a lot of Walmarts. Do you guys? Yeah. You obviously the family.
We go out of
Yeah.
necessity.
Yeah, I go because I'm like, who's got the good cards here?
Yeah.
Ooh, we got an autograph. We got an autograph, guys.
Is it real?
That is a Jose Devers
Devers, Boston Red Sox, right?
Oh, that's Raphael, I believe.
Raphael Devers,
Miami
right?
Marlins. Well, this is cool.
I guess there could be two Devers.
It's the Jose Devers rookie card, signed. Sadly, it is not an on-card auto.
Oh.
Apparently, in the card world, it has to be an on-card auto. It's still good, but it's like...
Okay.
Jose Devers didn't actually hold this card and sign it.
Right. Yeah.
He just signed a piece.
But those
of
exist.
They do exist. So yeah, we got an autographed card right there.
That's awesome.
I feel good about it.
Yeah. It's not going to be one we're going to be able to sell on the way home or anything.
So the segment is starting to wrap here. I guess we still got a minute left. But what I want to get at is normally when
pull the auto gun.
Craig is also host of things, so like there's a little bit of battle of hosts
I'm
going
sorry,
on.
I didn't mean to do that.
It's completely fine.
What I wanted
to get at here is, since we're all geeks about something, Craig's a geek in this instance about baseball cards, is how can people? Where's a good place to start to like get into it? Which is a loaded question for comic books sometimes.
Yeah.
But usually the answer is like in comic books case, like just go buy a comic, go buy one.
Go to Third Planet, the greatest comic book shop in Houston.
Yeah, a free plug for them. So if someone wants to get into baseball cards, where do they even start to look? Like how do they get into it?
eBay, Target and Walmart. eBay for like cards that you're probably not going to be able to pull on a specific box. But Walmart and Target are starting to sell them again.
Mm-hmm.
Target didn't sell them for the longest time because there was a lot of speculators that were going through and just buying as much as they could.
Right.
So, yeah.
So online and in Target and Walmart.
I would say so, yeah. And then obviously if you can find a local card shop, definitely hit them out.
Awesome.
Ozzie Smith.
Ozzie Smith. More Geek Therapy Radio coming up. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Geek Therapy Radio. You've got your mental curator, Johnny Hamburger. I don't know how much more recording of specific things I'm going to do, but I don't want to turn off the camera, because kind of what happens in birding a lot, I've noticed, and with any kind of observational hobby, is like you're going to sit there recording. Craig, that's probably loud, but we're just going to let it go.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It's fine.
It's like,
you might not even pick it
candy.
up. Yeah.
It's candy.
Yeah, we're just unwrapping candy.
I'm not here. Just do your show.
Talk amongst yourselves. Peas are neither peas nor nuts. Discuss.
If I find something cool, I'll go, hey, I got a hit. But otherwise, it's your show.
Okay. So in birding, as in other things, you'll have the camera on. You'll sit there, at least for videoing things, like you wait for a thing to happen. Like we were looking at the birds on the lake, and I was like, man, it would be really cool, since I was filming in 60 frames a second, the project's going to be in 24 frames a second. I could do a nice slowdown of birds like in flight and things like that. So I had the camera trained on the pile of birds.
A raft. When they're on the water, it was a raft of ducks.
A raft of ducks.
Yeah.
So I had it trained on the raft of ducks, thinking, okay, within the next few seconds here, they might take flight, or 3 or 4 of them might kind of change positions, and it'll look really nice on the water, glistening water, slow motion.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But when you're what? What'd you find?
Back. I didn't want to bother.
That was way less annoying than just rip it. So, anyways, you're like, okay, the duck's gonna do something, so I'm gonna record here. But as soon as you think that, as soon as you start rolling, expecting something to happen, it doesn't happen.
Right.
And as soon as you, stop recording,
it happens.
The thing does the thing.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell us what happened at one of the exotic locations we went to, Birdwatching? Wasn't in fact a Whataburger this time, but it was the UT Rio Grande Valley.
Yep.
Yeah, Rio Grande Valley.
Yep.
And so, what were we looking for there, and what kind of wound up happening?
The social flycatcher. So a vagrant bird that didn't, its range map wouldn't put it in that geographic location. So that's why it was unique, and that's why it was cool to go try to find that bird.
Just one bird. It's not like
one single.
It's not like like a flock or a bunch of them. It was like one bird is in this place.
Well documented with all the like e-birding apps, and nowadays people they record online, they record their sightings, and then
Right.
all the other birders flock to that spot to go see it. This one was at the UT Rio Grande Valley campus.
Right.
Social flycatcher, it's called.
So we were there to find the social flycatcher. We were there for 30 or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably looking for it.
That feels right.
We went into what would you call it? The kitchen, the cafeteria.
Yeah, a little like cafe.
Little Sodexo.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I was reliving my Lone Star College days of going into hey fellow kids, what are you learning about? What are you studying? So anyways, we went in there and got some coffee because it had been a long day, walked a lot. And what happened while we were in there?
Well, leading up to that, we were searching pretty hard for the social flycatcher. And so it felt like an okay time to go grab a refreshment,
Right.
grab a coffee. And of course,
Yep.
our fearless leader stayed behind. Dan Brooks, the ornithologist, the scientist in the group. And so he stayed like a wise man. And when we came back out with our coffees, he said, "You're going to be mad."
Yeah.
And we kind of were. He had spotted the social flycatcher while we grabbed our cups of joe.
And the thing is, you had the camera. Dan didn't have a camera.
He did not
He
have
just
a
had
camera.
binoculars.
Right.
Why did you not give him a camera? Like, no, I'm not.
Is he a photographer?
I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, like, why didn't we give him a camera? That would have been cool.
No, that would have been a good idea. I think he would have planned to use he's been using his smartphone just to grab, documenting,
okay.
so that would have been enough, but the
Okay.
thing was moving super fast. I mean, he had a short glimpse,
Got it.
but enough to ID it, for sure.
That's wonderful. But that's one of those
That's how
things.
it works.
You look for a long time. I have, okay, it's not showing up, for a minute. I have a time to go step in here for a second.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
like, well, there it is. Where was it?
Yeah, they're not on our clock.
No. So let's go back to when we were at, what was that state park called? I'm blanking out. Where Craig got picked up by the federales.
Santa Ana.
Exactly. Santa Ana State Park. It was kind of a 5-mile kind of loop walking trail.
Awesome park, by the way. Really cool. Beautiful.
Wonderful park. Y'all should come down to this area, period. It is a mecca in the world, one of the top maybe 3 places on earth
It's yeah.
for bird watching. This is a bird watching town down here. It's nuts.
Not
it's like
just
going
a
to
spring
baseball.
break. Not just a
card
spring break
city.
location.
No, right, because South Padre is close,
Yeah.
but this is about an hour
Yeah.
from the strip of South Padre.
Yep.
Craig's got a look on his face, pinning that for a second. What were we looking at? Hold on, just hold that face for like the whole time. Just like lock it in. Yeah. What were we looking for at Santa Ana State Park?
The bat falcon.
The bat
The
falcon.
first ever recorded bat falcon in the first ever bat falcon recorded in the U.S.
Ever.
First ever. Yeah.
And it just showed up recently.
Yeah, it's been here like 2 months though. Yeah.
And they don't if it leaves or once it leaves, there's no way of telling where it'll end up or where you can see it again. I'm sure there's obviously an area during each time of year where you can find the flock of these falcons.
Yeah.
Is flock of falcons, is that a correct term?
They don't really hang together. They're not really a flock bird.
But you can find them in an area. Like you're not just looking for one bird in all of Texas.
Totally.
Or all of the region.
Right.
So that's what's odd about this in a lot of other birds you're looking for.
South Mexico, South America, you can find bat falcons
Right.
easier.
But in February in the Rio Grande River Valley, it's not a thing, why it's so special that it's here.
Total. People were coming from all over the world
Right.
to come see it.
And
that's a big deal.
And that's where we're staying. It looks like, I say in the most endearing way possible, it looks like grandma's living room. It's a bed and breakfast. It's an amazing historical location. I'll put links in the podcast description to it. But this is this is where the bird watchers stay. This is one of the iconic locations all across the world. The proprietor, Keith, was telling me that he has visitors and he's had people from over 50 countries come stay here. You're thinking, what is in McAllen, Texas? Why would people come across the world to McAllen, Texas? It's not a place that you would think. I think people would think of bird watching, let's go to the Amazon or let's go to South America or something like that.
Right.
But like the Texas-Mexico border, why is it such a unique place to see birds?
So there's a a bunch of unique birds that are specific just to the lower Rio Grande Valley.
Right.
There's just a lineup of birds that you really can't see anywhere else in the U.S. that exist here, and that's because it's so close to Mexico, and then just because of its climate, environment, has these very specialized, unique birds that just can be seen here, and they're all cool.
Yeah.
They're all unique and beautiful looking, as you saw.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I can completely understand why people get bitten by the bug.
Yeah.
Or pecked by the bird. That sounds weird. and go birding. Craig, what did you find?
Well, no, I was
He
going to
was
say...
constipated over there with...
No, I'm fine. It ended up being just a weird A-Rod. I thought it was an A-Rod relic, but it's just one of these thicker cards.
Is that one card?
It's just one card, yeah. But when I opened it up and I just saw the big white piece on there, I thought it was a relic, and I was excited. But it's not a relic. Usually a relic would have like a patch right here, but it's just a stupid A-Rod card.
But it looks like it's
stupid.
it looks like it's
Okay.
like it looks like it's 15 millimeters thick or
It
something.
is, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool card, but I thought it was going to be cooler. So
it's just
the rest
cool.
of the bottle we got this really cool Acuna.
This is insane. I haven't seen cards. I mean, I stopped collecting cards in like 87.
I got 2 Trouts. 2 Trouts. And then a Bregman.
Bregman, did you see Bregman's pregnant? His wife's
he's
pregnant. He's pregnant.
Did somebody already used that?
Someone used it. Yeah, I heard it on the radio
Okay,
as well.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's worth reusing.
So sport. I know that. So I say we're all geeks about something, and I know I kind of steer away from talking about too much sports on the show. It really depends what it is, because I feel like I don't need to talk about a whole lot of sports here, because if you want sports, you can listen to a sports-specific podcast, or you can switch the dial to 790 or whatever, listen to sports. But the whole aspect of like collecting sports memorabilia and stuff like that is a whole nother beast that fits the context of the show perfectly. We are coming up on the last break before the final segment, so I'm going to speak in flow of consciousness while you're on camera. But that's fine. Don't worry, Craig's pants just fell down. It's fine if you're just listening on the radio. So that'll be fun to edit around.
Thank you.
Real quick, when did you get into this? How recently did you get into
I've
this?
always been I'm like a comic book guy too, but then this is like an extra...
It's an offshoot of...
Spicy, money, pathetic...
it's not pathetic. It's
It's
just something you're a geek about, and it brings you joy.
I should not have bought more cards after what I did at the baseball card show a few weeks ago.
Well,
But here I am.
that's I shouldn't have as many 1980s computers as I do. More Geek Therapy Radio coming up. Don't go anywhere.
I ended up trading that card at the card show a few weeks ago for a Bregman auto and a Altuve auto. So,
Amazing.
Auto, like actual.
Yeah. Or like cards.
Yeah.
Cards, yeah.
Yeah.
On cards, yeah.
And that's the intro for this segment. I was rolling on that.
Sorry.
That's one of the, I don't know what even you would technically call that, where you kind of join mid-conversation, but in a nice like flowing way. They heard the bump music, and then they heard Craig talking about cards, and now I'm introducing. Welcome back to Geek Therapy Radio, by the way. The only reason I mentioned that before each segment is for the radio audience. There was something I wanted to ask about collecting baseball cards. What did I want to say?
It's for poor, lonely men.
No. I wanted to say, yeah. Because before we started rolling on the show, I don't know why that TV's still running. That's throwing out.
Beautiful picture.
That is a 16:9 picture smushed
Yeah.
to 4:3. You can hear it. So there's a squeal. There's going to be a whine in there that this mic might pick up, because I've had it on. Done that shows before where I've had the TV on in the background with like Mario Brothers running or something like that.
Was a problem.
And somebody on Twitter was like, "Hey, it's not a big deal, but you can hear." And I looked back at the audio. I was like, "There's a spike right there at 16,000 hertz or whatever, which is the whine of the cathode ray tube CRT in the thing." It's totally fine, and you notch filter that out of the podcast if it's a deal. It's really not a big deal at all. It's, to me, it's really nostalgic, and like, I don't know about y'all too. Maybe this is something that y'all noticed in life because we're all old enough to have remembered these things. I could walk into a 6,000 square foot house, and I would know if there was one like 13-inch TV on in a bathroom somewhere.
I'm that way too.
You'd feel it like in your skull
I always
bones.
felt like it made me like a superhero. Like I could hear electricity.
Yeah.
Like I was like, ooh, I can hear, and I'm just like, it's just a.
I thought I was hearing radio waves.
But you thought that was special, right?
I was like, oh, I have 6 senses.
I'm the only boy in the world that can hear radio waves, or I can hear TV waves, and that's not true.
No, it's just the
I agree with you.
little whine. But you could tell that was part of the charm, quote unquote, of old CRTs, is that you can tell when it's on. When you turn you can tell that it's on without the volume up. Like it can be muted, and you just hear the whine of the TV. LED TV's on, OLED, plasma. Does plasma whine? I forget. Plasma might have a little whine. I never had, because plasma HD. Plasma. Exactly, plasma HD TVs were those, like, they were so expensive. It was the first kind of HD TV technology.
Yeah. Score.
Doing some swaps over here. So the point I wanted to make about collecting baseball cards, and even to a certain degree collecting comics, versus collecting something like CRTs, and this is what we discussed before we started rolling, is that you can collect one, maybe two 27-inch CRTs before it's like, that's all the space I have for this thing, because it's a huge thing. Cars are the same way. Cars, like, you can't, even if you had the money to collect cars, like, where are you going to put these cars, like in a normal residential house, versus collecting something like baseball cards, or to a slightly lesser extent comic books. You can have a small closet can hold hundreds of thousands of the thing that you're collecting, versus one small closet might not even hold one big CRT or old computer or whatever big artifacts that you like to collect. So it's a good.
So you're saying collect baseball cards, not CRTs?
I'm saying that, Craig, an addiction to baseball cards isn't so bad as far as a volume consumed of your a baseball card hoarder. Like, you're not going to see a baseball card hoarder on Hoarders, because if you have 100,000 sweaters, that's going to fill your house. 100,000 baseball cards, you're a unique collector. You're a curator of,
what's it called, like
cards.
When you're crazy but you're rich.
Eccentric.
But if you're crazy and you're poor, you're just crazy and poor.
So that's the difference. If you collect big things and you have a lot of them, you're a hoarder. If you collect small things and you have technically more of them, you're an eccentric, well-respected collector. But then it matters how you store it. Like, you can't, if you had the sweaters, that show hoarders, it makes me sad.
If that's
because
a neat thing to collect.
He went right to sweaters, though.
I'm just saying,
you collect sweaters?
No,
is that another thing that we don't know about?
There has to be people that collect sweaters, and I'm saying, all I was saying, busting my chops here.
Sweaters, though, some people collect sweaters.
They do.
That's okay.
Some people.
If you collect sweaters, email me, Johnny at geektherapyradio.com, or at me, Geek Therapy Radio, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Red, white, and black color scheme. That's how you know you got Geek Therapy Radio. Thanks for the segue to the plug. That was effort. That was seamless. Let me know if you collect sweaters. Let me know if you collect baseball cards. Let me know if you collect comic books. I feel like asking somebody, let me know if you collect comic books. That's going to hit a pretty big demographic. That's the one thing. I have had Third Planet on. I have had Bedrock City on. Comics. I used to buy a lot of comics as a kid. I bought a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog comics as a kid, and there were two different.
It might be worth something now. The movies back out.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Oh, this is perfect. Do you remember the first trailer for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
It caused such a big problem. They basically remade the movie.
It was a nightmare.
Right.
Do you remember?
Didn't like it.
No, I thought it was a joke also. I was like, this is not real. This trailer is a joke. Like, because the whole idea of like that just a mangled looking Sonic meme was a thing. It was a meme. It was a popular thing to like make Sonic look as jacked as possible. So then when the movie studio released the trailer and Sonic looked horrible with like big old giant horse teeth and like humanoid features and things like that, I was like, okay, the studio is in on this joke to make Sonic look horrible.
And they got Jim Carrey involved.
And Jim Carrey's involved. Like, this is a joke.
Crazy, so it might make sense.
It was like, all right, this is a joke. This is a joke trailer to drum up hype on the
Funny or Die, if that was still a thing.
Right.
Or,
so the actual trailer is going to come out later, and it's going to be a real more cartoony looking Sonic, how Sonic actually looks. No, the studio, that was legit. Like, that's what they're going to run with. But what I want to know is, this is old news, but like the focus group that they put that trailer in front of, like, what do y'all think? In the focus group, that was like, thumbs up, this is good, go with it. Like, who did they pick in their minds? They're like, yeah, this character looks good, run with it. It certainly wasn't kids who grew up with like Sega Genesises and stuff like that.
Like,
I don't think.
No, yeah, it's just like, or is it somebody that just like signed off on it, didn't even like look at it? Like,
Did they even use a focus group? Like, just pump this out there. We've been working on too long. Just put the trailer out. It's good to go.
Sonic, right?
No one's gonna have a
Sonic's
beef with
great.
it. Sonic. So, man, I felt so bad. Like, they had to go back. They have to go back basically frame for frame and Here's the thing, because
somebody got paid. They're happy.
Oh yeah, they got paid. It cost the studio millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, if
nobody cares about the studio.
And that's why I think it wasn't a joke. I was like, it's not a joke because the studio is not going to want to pay millions of dollars to like correct something. Like, this was a legit mistake.
It was like, it's like I love when things like that happen where something's a joke and they have to walk it back.
Right.
Like, oh god, there's something recently happened with that, like at the Super Bowl or something weird. Like, there was an ad that came out, wasn't it? This is really great, Dead Era. So
it's not till we're coming up at the end of the show, so let me just wrap it up by saying real quick, thank you, Mike, for coming on to talk about bird watching. Riveting.
Absolutely.
I'll put all necessary links in the podcast description. Craig, thank you for coming on, talking about getting picked up by the federales and baseball cards.
Ladies, he's single.
Craig is single. I am very much taken. All right. Mike, Craig, this goes to you too, but the audience, obviously, you are all worthy of love. You are worthy of receiving love. You are worthy of giving love, and you are worthy of your own self-respect. Indulge your geek thing. Find your geek thing. Find an old hobby. Rekindle an old hobby. Find a new hobby. That's how we learn to I think that's how we help our mental state, and we kind of learn our worthiness. So thank you so much for listening to Geek Therapy Radio. GeekTherapyRadio.com for much more information. Take care.